Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're going to be looking at something that's probably sitting in your bathroom cabinet right now.
Hmm.
Pimple cream.
Oh, yeah.
We're all about getting that clear, glowing skin.
Yeah.
Lately there's been some buzz about a certain ingredient that's got people a little worried,
Right?
and that's why we're taking a deep dive into this CNA lifestyle article.
Okay.
It's called Are Pimple Creams Safe to Use? What We Know About the Potentially Cancer-Causing Ingredient Found in Some. It was published just a few days ago on November 9th, 2024.
Wow.
So before you toss out your entire skincare routine,
Yeah, don't do that.
let's break down what's really going on and what it means for you.
For sure. So you're right, there has been some concern about benzoyl peroxide,
Okay.
a very common ingredient in acne treatments.
Exactly. And it seems like this concern stems from the possibility of benzoyl peroxide forming benzene,
Right.
which is a known carcinogen.
Yeah, and a U.S. lab validator found some pretty alarming levels of benzene in certain acne products.
Oh.
Some were a staggering 800 times higher than the FDA's limit.
800 times. Okay, now I'm actually a little concerned about what's in my own bathroom cabinet. But before we all panic, what's the bigger picture here?
Well, the good news is that the HSA in Singapore has actually tested similar products and found the benzene levels to be within acceptable limits.
Okay.
Additionally, newer studies haven't found a direct link between using benzoyl peroxide and increased benzene levels in the blood.
Okay, that's a bit of a relief. But I bet everyone's still wondering, what about the pimple cream I'm using right now? Should we be ditching it?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think a key takeaway here is informed decision-making.
Okay.
If you're using a product with benzoyl peroxide, the sweet spot for concentration is around 2.5% or 5%.
Okay.
Higher concentrations don't necessarily mean better results, and they can even increase the risk of irritating your skin.
So it's all about finding that balance, right? Anything else we should keep in mind?
Storage is actually crucial. Think about where you keep your pimple cream. Is it in a hot bathroom cabinet?
Yeah.
Has it been open for months?
Probably.
Ideally, store your products in the fridge,
Okay.
or at least below room temperature, to prevent them from degrading. And of course, always check those expiration dates.
Oh, right.
If a product is past its prime or has been exposed to high temperatures,
Yeah.
it's best to just toss it.
Got it. Concentration, storage, and expiration dates all checked. But what if someone wants to explore other options besides benzoyl peroxide?
Right.
Are there other ways to tackle those pesky zits?
You're absolutely right. There's a whole world of alternative ingredients that can be really effective for treating acne. And some of them even come with additional benefits, which is really exciting.
Okay, I'm all ears. Tell me more about these alternatives.
Let's ditch the benzoyl peroxide for a moment and explore a world of exciting alternatives. Some of these ingredients might surprise you.
Okay.
First up, we have retinoids and retinols, which are vitamin A derivatives,
Okay.
known for their ability to reduce inflammation and unclog pores.
I've heard of retinoids, but what's the difference between those and retinols? And why should I care?
That's an important distinction. Retinoids are typically prescription strength,
Okay.
while retinols are available over the counter. Imagine being able to clear up both your face and back acne.
Wow.
Well, that's where trifarotene comes in.
Yeah.
It's a retinoid that's been shown to be effective for both.
That's music to the ears of anyone battling acne. But are there any downsides to using retinoids or retinols? Anything we should watch out for?
One thing to keep in mind is that retinoids and retinols can make your skin more sensitive to the sun.
Oh, okay.
So sunscreen is an absolute must. Think of it as your shield against sun damage while you're on your journey to clearer skin.
Right.
Also, it's important to note that pregnant women should avoid using them.
Noted. Sunscreen is non-negotiable. What about other alternatives? I've heard good things about azelaic acid. What's the deal with that one?
Azelaic acid is a fantastic option,
Yeah.
especially for those with sensitive skin.
Yeah.
It's known for being super gentle, and it's even safe to use during pregnancy and breastfeeding.
Wow.
It has both antibacterial and anti-inflammatory properties,
Great.
making it a real powerhouse for tackling acne.
So it's a good all-rounder. Now, what about those hydroxy acids I keep hearing about? AHAs and BHAs?
Yes.
What's the difference and why are people so obsessed with them?
Ah, yes. Hydroxy acids are like the superheroes of exfoliation. Imagine them as tiny scrubbers that gently remove dead skin cells and unclog pores,
Right.
which helps prevent breakouts. Now, there are two main types. AHAs like glycolic and lactic acid are great for overall anti-aging benefits. Think smoother, brighter skin.
Amazing.
Then we have BHAs like salicylic acid, which are the go-to for blackheads and oily skin. They're like little magnets for oil and grime.
So it's like choosing the right tool for the job. AHAs for smoother, brighter skin, and BHAs for tackling those stubborn blackheads. I love that.
Exactly. It's all about understanding your skin's unique needs and choosing the ingredients that will best address them. We're really starting to get into the nitty-gritty of personalized skincare here.
This is already so much information, and I feel like we're just getting started. There's a whole world of acne-fighting ingredients out there. But for now, we'll move on to the next part of our deep dive to explore even more of these alternatives.
Welcome back, everyone. We're in the middle of uncovering all the secrets to fighting acne, even if you decide to ditch the benzoyl peroxide. I'm ready for more acne-fighting weapons.
Yeah.
What else do we have in our arsenal?
Well, we can't forget about topical antibiotics.
Oh, right.
You've probably heard of clindamycin.
Yeah.
It's a common one that doctors often prescribe. And here's a pro tip.
Okay.
It's often combined with retinoids or benzoyl peroxide for a superpowered bacteria-fighting effect.
So it's like a tag team approach to acne treatment. Does using it with those other ingredients help with antibiotic resistance? That's something I've heard a lot about.
Yeah.
That's a really insightful question. And you're right, using clindamycin on its own can lead to bacterial resistance. So combining it with other treatments is definitely a smarter strategy. It's like having a backup plan for your skin.
Love it. Okay, so we've got retinoids, azelaic acid, hydroxy acids, and topical antibiotics. Anything else we should be aware of? I feel like there's a whole universe of skincare out there that I need to learn about.
You're telling me there are so many incredible ingredients out there, and each one has its own unique superpower. For example, have you ever heard of niacinamide?
Niacinamide rings a bell, but I don't know much about it. What makes it so special?
Okay, imagine an ingredient that can help regulate sebum production. That's the oily stuff that can clog your pores. Then on top of that, it strengthens your skin barrier, which is like the protective shield that keeps your skin healthy and hydrated. And if that wasn't enough, it can even help reduce hyperpigmentation, those dark spots that can sometimes linger after a breakout. It's basically a superhero for your skin.
Wow, niacinamide definitely sounds like a must-have. So to recap, we've got retinoids and retinols for unclogging pores and reducing inflammation, azelaic acid for sensitive skin, and pregnancy safe. Use hydroxy acids for exfoliation and targeting specific concerns like blackheads, and oily skin topical antibiotics like clindamycin to fight bacteria, and niacinamide for regulating oil production, strengthening the skin barrier, and evening out skin tone. Did I miss anything? It feels like there's a whole army of acne-fighting ingredients out there.
You got them all. And that's what's so great about having so many options. It allows you to tailor your skincare routine to your specific needs and concerns. It's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
Exactly. And I think that's so empowering. It's like having a toolbox full of different solutions so you can pick and choose what works best for your skin. No more blindly following trends or believing everything you see in those fancy skincare ads.
I couldn't agree more. And while we've covered a lot today, it's always a good idea to consult with a dermatologist if you have specific concerns or need help navigating all these options. They can give you personalized advice and help you create a skincare routine that's tailored to your individual needs.
That's such solid advice. After all, our skin is unique just like we are. But before we send everyone running to their dermatologist, let's take a step back and revisit our initial concerns about benzoyl peroxide.
Good point. I think it's important to reiterate that benzoyl peroxide isn't necessarily a villain in the skincare world. It's been a tried and true acne fighter for many people, and it can still be a very effective option.
Yeah.
But as with any ingredient, being informed and using it wisely is key.
Absolutely. It's all about understanding the potential benefits and risks and making choices that align with our individual needs and priorities. So to sum it up, what are the key takeaways you want our listeners to walk away with today?
I'd say the biggest takeaway is that there's no need to panic about benzoyl peroxide. Being mindful of concentration, proper storage, and expiration dates can go a long way in ensuring you're using it safely and effectively. And remember, there's a whole world of fantastic alternative ingredients out there. Retinoids, azelaic acid, hydroxy acids, topical antibiotics, niacinamide. I mean, the list goes on. So if you're looking for other options, don't be afraid to explore and see what works best for your skin.
So true. And I think what's so exciting about all of this is that we have the power to take control of our skincare. We can research, experiment, and ultimately create a routine that makes us feel confident and comfortable in our own skin. And you know what? That's a beautiful thing. But before we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a little something to ponder. Now that we've opened your eyes to this whole world of alternatives to benzoyl peroxide, which one are you most intrigued by? It's like a skincare buffet out there. What are you going to put on your plate? What other questions about skincare do you have? Keep that curiosity going. We love to see it.
It's so true. Being an informed consumer is such a powerful thing. We're constantly bombarded with skincare information,
Hmm.
ads, articles, social media. It's overwhelming. But when you take the time to understand the ingredients, the benefits, the potential risks,
Yeah.
that's when you can make choices that truly feel good for you and your skin.
Exactly. It's not about blindly following trends or buying into the hype. It's about becoming your own skincare detective. Do your research, ask questions, and don't be afraid to experiment until you find what works best for you.
And remember, skincare isn't a race to the finish line. It's a journey, a process of learning and adapting. Be patient with your skin. Listen to its signals, and don't get discouraged if you don't see results overnight. Consistency is key, and sometimes it takes a little trial and error to find that perfect routine. And most importantly, have fun with it. Taking care of your skin should be a form of self-care, not a chore.
So well said. It's about finding that balance between knowledge and enjoyment. Well, folks, that brings us to the end of our deep dive into the world of pimple creams and their safety. We hope you've learned something new today and feel empowered to make informed decisions about your skincare. Remember, knowledge is power, and beautiful skin starts with understanding what you're putting on it. Until next time, stay curious and keep diving deep.